Broadcasting to you live from the Orion Spiral Arm of the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of Washington, D.C., where the fountains are being repaired, the sludge is being drained and cleaned from the reflecting pool, and America's set to celebrate Memorial Day. To remember Memorial Day. Veterans Day, Memorial Day. A lot of the meaning gets blurred together. It's about hot dogs, opening the swimming pool, our veterans, this nation, all of it kind of together.
Yeah, well, technically, Veterans Day is more than...
I know. But here in America, we conflate things, daggum. Yes, Marion, howdy. It's Friday and a long holiday weekend coming up. Whoop, whoop. Thank you for being here. My name is Brian Engelman, also known as Brian the Bartender. We're going to talk about all the stories on the screens behind us. And today is Friday, May 22, 2026. This thing right here that you are watching, it's called the TNAM Daily Show, larger. The TNAM Daily Show. Because the news always matters. The new American media. We're going to talk about Kyle Busch, NASCAR legend, gone at 41. Young. We'll break down what we know and what people are saying. I don't know how much of it is true. Did John Thune throw a hissy fit, Leader Thune, and send everyone on a long vacation instead of getting work done? Where are the 5 people to remove Thune? And did this latest stunt basically seal his deal as the next Kevin McCarthy to be removed and replaced? Swap out a rhino, install a MAGA. You're seeing it across all of the primaries, all across the country. It takes a little bit of time to take out our own trash, let alone the domestic terrorist organization known as the Democrat Party, who's been flooding this country with tens of millions of unvetted, dangerous, unqualified people to then get on public assistance nonstop, generate ballots, and guess what? Keep voting in Democrats because you're paying for them to invade this country and change this country. That's who the Democrats are. We see it. We know it. It's an ongoing track record for the past 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You could go back to Reagan. You could go back further if you want. The modern era with Obama. Look, you should say President Obama. You shouldn't be, just saying my last name without, adding president. Because my elections, they were totally legit. Both of them. Same with Biden. I've been accused by a lot of folk out there. And they'll make accusations, and I'll say, look, I didn't build that. I didn't build that. But a lot of folk, they say, that Joe Biden term, that was all me. That was my 3rd term. I said, maybe if I could be in a basement in my pajamas, with a microphone, kind of telling that guy or girl, what to say, I could see myself serving a 3rd term. So we'll just stick to the common era of invading nations, overthrowing the local communities everywhere. It's Canada, it's the United States, it's Europe.
Europe's a big place. There's a lot of different countries that,
yeah, look at them, investigate them, see how things are going. See how happy the people are that they're being replaced.
You can't say that people are being replaced, or else I'm going to use every mean word imaginable, and I'll convince you to stop talking.
No, that doesn't work anymore. That doesn't work. That's not a thing. We see with our eyes. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4. We can see your agenda, deep state. globalist, domestic terrorist Democrat Party. I know there's probably a lot of fine folk, a lot of good folk, on both sides. Did you see that? Barack Obama just said, fine people on both sides, unlike what I said, which was to completely and totally disavow that bad group in that bad group. Shut up, Trump. Look, we run the narrative. We tell the lying legacy media what to say. And look, you're insurrectionist, a felon, 91 time convicted or indicted or charged, whatever, Eric Holder or Mayorkas, whoever it was. Jack Smith, I don't know. It's a big cast of characters. But look, you're a bunch of bad things because I said so. Because, you kind of called me out for my, remember that thing? Called you a birther for a while. Had to get you all to shut up. You didn't build that. So shut up. Yeah, look at how the plan is proceeding across the country. Look how the plan is proceeding across the globe. And look at what's happening now for sovereign nations to reclaim control over their sovereign nations. 250th birthday coming up, Memorial Day this weekend. John Thune, Kyle Busch, and a whole lot more on today's episode. So buckle up, buttercups. The TNAM Daily Show starts now.
Your guide to the truth, the new AmericanMedia.com.
Thank you all so much for being here. Yeah, it's time to wake up. Everybody get up, including Dina, Marion, John, Droopy. Everyone. Marion says, look, when the media starts saying President Trump instead of just Trump, that's when I'll say President Obama. How about that? How's that? I kind of get it. Thank you all for being here. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend, would you? Could you please? Did you? Let me put it up on the screen here. This is the end of a week, and a friendly reminder that if you like independent media, independent journalism, independent content creation, if you like original insight and thoughts and content collating, you support it. The ways to support it: Patreon, Rumble, and YouTube. Become a monthly subscriber, a monthly sponsor. Please consider doing that at the level you are most comfortable with. The higher, the better. As well as Rumble Rant tips. You can throw some coins into the tip jar back there. Silver coins, hopefully. Rumble Rant Super Chat tips right there on your phone or your laptop. It's very easy to do. We also have PayPal, fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com, Venmo and Cash App. My name, Brian Engelman. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's all scrolling at the bottom of the screen so you can see it. All right, we got a lot of news to get to, so let's jump into the stuff here with our Instagram page. Make sure you're following The New American Media. I watched this sort of making the rounds yesterday. Let's take a listen. Shadow of Ezra put this out. I don't know this guy, Dan Merrill. Alex wants to know, shared this. Who's Alex? Okay, Alex. I don't know. They're saying that this Dan Merrill guy is the contractor who was hired to pave over Charlie Kirk's assassination scene. Take a listen to what he says in this interview.
When I got the call, I thought, you better fucking believe it. I'm going to go help. That was all it was. I'm going to go help these guys. He's asking for help. They want to do it right. He framed it in the sense that, hey, we want this to be done right. So that's why I showed up. So, I mean, to do pavers.
Okay. He received the call under an emergency order to cover the area immediately, to pave over the crime scene without delay. That's what they're talking about. Sorry, I thought he was going to kind of set this up a little better.
Correctly, you over excavate. You get rid of the topsoil.
Oh, you do?
You do, 100%. Okay. You want to get a good base. And these guys had kind of, there was two guys in charge and a ragtag crew. One of the guys was in charge of a state-owned facility in American Fork, and the other guy was in a maintenance groundskeeper on a facility in Provo. And these are the two guys I'm corresponding with. The first guy, the second guy that I hadn't talked to on the phone basically said, hey, look, we're not talking to anybody. We're not saying anything to the media. He says this is above our pay grade. The FBI and the state, the governor and the FBI, that's what they told me. The governor and the FBI said they want this done by Monday. And we need.
Now, I mean, on one hand, I could understand wanting to remove the traumatic reminder of everything that there was, but when you're in an active investigation, like, you don't do that. You don't do that.
To get it done. So when I got the call, I thought, you better fucking believe it. I'm going to go help.
So anyway, look into Dan Merrill and tell me in the comments, question of the day, what do you think about quickly paving over that area? Nothing to see here? No biggie? Or is it a bit of a smoking gun? You tell me. All right. Let's check out our X account at American_media_. Yeah, thank God it's Friday, Dina. Exactly. Right here's our Patreon page linked. It's pinned at the top of our X account at American_media_. Make sure you're following us. Share the show with your friends. All right, well, Tim Burchett. Let's listen to Representative Clay Fuller and Tim Burchett.
Hey, everybody. It's past 1 o'clock in the morning. Just wanted you to know I'm here with one of my Capitol Hill heroes. We just got through a markup in transportation and infrastructure. And we voted against the surveillance state, making sure you're maintaining your right to privacy, no flock cameras everywhere.
Unfortunately, they're going to be everywhere, I'm afraid. Violate your constitutional rights, I feel. You're the attorney, you tell me. I'm so sick of that stuff, and it's just a cash cow. It's not about safety. It's about revenue. I was a county mayor, and I saw that coming a long time ago when I was in the legislature.
I'm here with one of my heroes. You got a right to privacy, and we're going to fight for it each and every day. So thanks, y'all. Have a good night.
Thank y'all for sending me here.
Yep.
Yep, so it's about these spy cameras. Laura Logan says, imagine if they had the support of their Republican colleagues who have the majority. Tim Burchett elaborating on what just went down.
Everybody, Tim Burchett. It's after 1 o'clock. We're leaving Transportation Committee. I was here Monday and Tuesday, and we didn't do anything. And here it is. What is it? Thursday night? Friday morning. Monday and Tuesday we didn't meet at all. And then we get dropped a 1,000-page bill. When did they drop it on us?
This weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. And then Chairman Graves, who's a Republican, voted against, it looked like a majority of the Republican amendments, and most of them died, and they were all pretty good, doing away with those crazy traffic cameras. And they're just, all they are is revenue cameras. And wouldn't vote with us on that, and of course they're in the bill, and it's just
cameras.
It's got a lot in it. I'm getting another bite at the apple, I guess, on the floor, but it's the wheels are greased on this, and the lobbyists are all jacked up on it. So anyway, it's just what they do to you. We should know better being in the majority, but we're not. It's just, that's what happens in these committees, folks. Every time we just get rolled, and they cut the deal a long time ago before any of us have access to it. So you got a few amendments in there, but not what we really needed. Anyway, I'm disgusted with our own party. And this is what happens. Thank y'all for sending me here.
Yep. Blue Lives Matter put this out. Tim Burchett blasting our own people.
Mr. Chairman, could I say something at this point, or do I need to wait?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll yield to you.
Okay. I realize what's going on here, and I realize that, when you're not sitting at the table, that you're not heard, and I realize the deal has already been cut. But I want to warn our party. We're in the majority, and we're not acting like it. And we'll be in the minority once again because of this kind of activity. And I'm disgusted that both sides of the aisle, that we're not allowed to, deals have been cut. And I think that's wrong. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, could I say something?
Backroom deal cut to let Democrats control what we do. Fake Republicans selling out America behind closed doors again, handing power back to the same Democrats the American people destroyed in the last election. God bless him, says Blue Lives Matter, for being one of the few with the backbone to expose it. End revenue cameras is his message. End the revenue cameras. This whole constant spy grid shit. All right. Speaking of constant shit, let's check in with Ilhan Omar and the Feeding Our Future scandal.
Last 8 years in
Here's Tom Emmer, Republican Minnesota congressman.
Last 8 years in Minnesota, and his has run rampant. Ilhan Omar is at the center of the Feeding Our Future scandal. She not only was the sponsor of the bill that created the fund that they ripped off, these are her neighbors. These are the people she represents. And by the way, the people that she was in communication with. You know that Amy Bach, the head of the Feeding Our Future scandal, was sentenced to 41 years yesterday. She has said that Ilhan Omar was aware. Right. And then you look at Keith Ellison.
Oh, come on. Like Keith Ellison, Ilhan Omar, Tim Waltz, they were aware. They were the key parts of it.
Guy was literally working with Somali fraudsters to frustrate investigations in return for campaign donation. It's been shown, Charlie. And Tim Walz, you can't tell us that he did not know what was going on right under his nose for 7.5 years. I'll tell you what my constituents are asking every day, Charlie. When are these people going to be held accountable? When is somebody going to go to jail for ripping everybody off?
And I know that you'll stay on top of it. Fox
asked the whole Democrat Party leadership. She sponsored the bill that made it possible. The fraudsters were her own neighbors and constituents, says Benny Johnson. Amy Bach, sentenced to 41 years yesterday, says Omar knew. Keith Ellison, working with the Somali fraudsters to block investigations in exchange for campaign donations. Tim Waltz let this go on for 7.5 years. She created the fund. Her people stole from it. She knew this isn't incompetence. This is corruption. Speaking of corruption, Amber Duke says, my coworker who lives in D.C. received 5 ballots in the mail. Only one was addressed to him, and he didn't request it. Yeah, you got to throw out these elections. You see what they're doing. You can't run an election cycle like this. This is insane. Vote in person one day on paper. AAG Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon says I received ballots for prior residents of my home in addition to my own. One was for someone who hasn't lived there for years. Basil the Great says Keir Starmer has never mentioned Henry Nowak. He hasn't even mentioned Wayne Broadhurst, a man emmed by an Afghan migrant in the street. Keir Starmer has nothing to say about it, not even once. Claims Basil the Great. Check out yesterday's show where Trump goes 37-0 with endorsements. California, heartbreaking. The elderly Trump house owner in California is not expected to survive after being brutally beaten outside of his home. Maria Sharon says there's no hope for her husband, Kerry, a 69-year-old Army veteran known for flying Trump and USA flags everywhere. The violence on the left has to stop.
Somebody decided that our stuff was not good. Look at this.
In March, they tore his property up.
Incredible.
Unhinged, violent lunatics.
They even ripped the American flag. How fucked up is that? And then Marine banner, they ripped that. Ripped down the American flags. Oh, unpatriotic. Incredible.
Yeah, where is I want to show you that video of her. I think it was on Instagram.
The doctor don't give me any
Doctors don't have any hope.
Que está muy malo mi marido.
Vale. ¿Qué necesita María?
I don't know. Y también un hombre se paró aquí.
And
Dijo,
put it
yo te
right
voy a
here.
matar, y luego
Pay you.
la cosa
He's
de pedófilo, de todo lo está
keto.
acusando igual que
He's
Trump.
never.
A mi esposo pedófilo. Y
All
a
the
mí también
keto.
me
Oh wow! Look at that. Yeah, they're echoing all the bullshit from the left. All the same stuff. They've activated their foot soldiers across the country to go be violent lunatics.
No.
Because the Democrat Party is a domestic terrorist organization masquerading as a political party.
Mucho, pero a mi esposo más.
Yeah, but he's in the files. His name's in there a bunch of times. What evidence do you have? What court has proven what? What are you talking about? But he's in there. He's in there. He's in there. He's in there. He's a pedo. He's a pedo. He's in there. Having this conversation in the Agree to Disagree Facebook group with a lunatic. What are you? Well, he's in there. He's in what? He's been what? Arrested, charged, convicted of what? No, but it's what they say nonstop on MS Now, MSNBC, CNN, nonstop. It's all the Democrats have. See, the guy who took Epstein out, he's got to be the pedo because Clinton was filmed, photographed, and videoed on the island all those times, along with all those people. So yeah, Trump's the bad guy. Okay, Thomas Massey. I mean, okay, MS Now. And that's these people are screaming at this family.
Yo no les digo nada, o sea, yo no discuto. Cuando yo estoy en la calle nada más enseño un cartelón No es mi problema si ellos lo leen. O sea, si ellos lo quieren leer, es problema de ellos.
He holds up signs. If people want to read it, they read it. If they don't, they don't. That's their
O
problem.
sea, yo no estoy hablando, no estoy
Not even
haciendo
speaking,
uso de mi
making use of their freedom of
PSP.
speech. California Post. Beware that when you're authentic, you put a target on your back because the lunatics on the left actively encourage violence. Elon Musk says something is deeply wrong here. Libs of TikTok put this out and says Reuters stories on Henry Nowak are 0. Reuters stories on George Floyd were 1,087. Can you see what's happening? Do you even know Henry Nowak, who was butchered in the street? Instead of getting help, he was handcuffed while he gurgled on his own and expired. An illegal alien, invader, butchered him in his own country, and his own police handcuffed him while he asphyxiated instead of getting immediate help. You want to talk about cop abuse? No, you can't. Not on Reuters. If this information is accurate, but you don't know the name Henry Nowak, and you should. Henry was not overdosing. Henry was not committing criminal activities that day. He was not stealing from stores, passing fake money, getting high in a car, resisting arrest, escaping when he was placed in the back of a cop car, having an absolute freak out, meltdown, panic, heart attack, overdose situation. Henry was just existing, Henry Nowak. And the police, instead of helping him, handcuffed him like he was the bad guy. And they let him hear that story. We'll keep talking about it. Check out yesterday's show, Democrats Still Cheating in California Elections. Colorado punishes governor for freeing Tina Peters. It is an upside down world, Dina. Very upside down. George Floyd. Yeah, George Floyd. Responsible for the Cleveland Indians changing their name to the Cleveland Guardians. Because reasons. You know, when the media goes nonstop about a pandemic or an insurrection or 81 million totally legitimate votes or George Floyd, it's very interesting what happens when they activate their foot soldiers to divide this country. That's all they have. Nobody likes them. They poll at 17%, 18%, 20%. 4 out of 5 can't stand the Democrat Party leadership. And there's a global, deep state, Democrat, globalist, authoritarian, installed puppet regime, whatever you want to call it. There's groups that stand for the people, and there's groups who are placed into positions of power to plunder all the resources, like Ilhan Omar invaded, in an act of piracy, invaded Minneapolis, Minnesota, with a cadre of other people, and stole how many billions of dollars? Or as Trump would say, billions and billions. 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 Yeah, do the cops have a duty to protect? Look at the UK. It is a conquered nation. Remember, it was about 30 years ago they gave up their right to self-defense. You can take it back, the right to self-defense. You don't have the right to indiscriminately go around harming anybody. You got every right as a human being to defend yourself against an enemy, against a monster or a demon. That's a universal truth. Doesn't matter which temporary government says, "Aye, mate, you ain't got the right to have that." "Aye, mate, Molin Labe." Come and take it. Because this is what happens. Your country is invaded, you're abused, you're brutalized, you're butchered in your own streets when you have no recourse to defend yourself. So let's check in. Kyle Busch can no longer defend himself. I wonder if I'm going to run afoul of copyright claim because I'm going to play a little bit of this but fair use provisions dictate that I have the ability to play clips of things that have occurred for their news value so that I can educate, entertain, and inform. So don't flag this. Patriot Voice here is, well, let's listen and see if we can make out what's happening, and then I'll give you the backstory. NASCAR legend Kyle Busch gone at 41.
Kyle Busch.
This was him from a recent race. They're not telling me what date this was. From a recent race, this was happening.
Kyle Busch has been suffering from a sinus cold all week.
A sinus cold all week. Was it a sinus cold?
Lost 5 spots on that pit stop. He has asked to have medical attention available.
And he's went ahead and sought medical attention. He was having a problem driving the car out there. Sought medical attention during a recent race.
After the race. Here's his radio.
And can somebody try to find Bill Heisel?
He's the Kindred Doctor guy. What does that mean?
He's the Hendricks Doctor
Hendricks Motor Racing, maybe?
guy. Tell him I need him after the race, please. Hey, do you want Mr. Bill at your car and at your bus after the race? Bus.
And so he's requesting the doctor.
I'm gonna need a shot. Copy. He'll be at your bus.
I'm going to need a shot, is what he says. And he'll be at your bus.
Racing can't be any fun when you're...
Not only can it not be any fun, it could be taking you out.
Head is completely stuffed up like that.
It's the worst.
Well, it's more than the worst. Patriot Voice says, Kyle Busch said to the infield doctor he wanted a shot to combat a sinus infection, air quote, after the race. Okay, it was 10 days ago at Watkins Glen. Then he ended up in the hospital on Thursday as a result and just died today. I have one question. What in the hell was in the shot? We have questions. Was he jabbed? I don't know. What kind of shot was it? Dale Earnhardt Jr. says, Kyle and I had a really challenging existence for many years, but we luckily took the time to figure out our differences. And that was something he instigated with a conversation in his bus around how we each managed our racing teams. I was super eager for us to get on better terms, but it was he who made the effort for that to be possible. We did some media together also to laugh through some of the things we put each other through many years ago. Most recently, we had even been discussing him running my late model at Wilkesboro this summer. He seemed extremely happy, and we had planned to meet up next Thursday to get his seat to the shop. He laughed over the idea of his fans and JRM fans having to cheer in unison during that race. Kyle was one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history. No one can deny that, but he was also father, husband, brother, son, and a friend to many. My heart is broken for the Busch family. I will never be able to make sense of this loss, but I'm thankful that we had found a way to become friends. Yeah, 41 is far too old, hospitalized with a severe illness, looking for some specifics. He was recently interviewed this past Saturday, they say, on Barstool Sports.
And a bow in front of the fans that are all on their feet down here at the Monster Mile. And
I guess he must have won this one. Yeah, it's Hendricks. That's the name that he was calling for. Hendrick Cars.
Michael Waltrip said earlier in the race that a confident Kyle Busch is a dangerous Kyle Busch.
He's kind of doing that thing with his nose. He's going, like he's trying to get some airflow there.
69th victory in this series, your 5th.
He just won. I just want to get the quote because I don't want this to get cropped off. Here, let me crop it.
Right here. Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
There we go. Why do these moments never get old, Kyle? What does he say?
Because you never know when the last one is, you know, so.
You never know when the last one is. 2026 Dover winner. Prescient word.
These moments never get old, Kyle.
Why do these moments never get old?
Because you never know when the last one is, you know.
Rest in peace, Kyle Busch. You never know when the last one is. All right. Titans head coach Robert Saleh says one of the first moves the team made in its nutrition overhaul was something maybe your families have done already.
Yeah, no, well, 100%. I thought one of the first things I think we did here is get rid of all the seed oils in the building, and which I think the players appreciate. I know we've Miss Amy has allowed us to attack the budget and get the players better variety. I think
all the seed oils are gone.
I'll put our staff, and I mean that I've been in 6 different buildings, and I'd put this staff up there with the best of them. I mean the product they put out in the cafeteria daily is outstanding. Yeah, no, well, 100%.
Get rid of the seed oils. I don't know why anybody's still consuming those.
I thought one of the first things I think we did here is get rid of all the seed oils in the building, and which I think the players appreciate. I know.
All right, that's the way you do it. All right, Election Wizard says Gabe Sterling, who's Raffensperger's right hand at the Georgia Secretary of State, just lost the GOP primary for the job. In 2020, he was on TV insisting there was no fraud. Then it turned out someone had fraudulently voted using his home address, his own home address. Tonight, MAGA returned the favor. I know we shared a few more stories. Let me hit refresh. I know we did. I thought we did. Is that all I have in the stack today? Is this going to be one of the quickest shows ever? It is Memorial Day weekend. No stems and no seeds. Exactly. I don't know. Are there any other stories that are on the radar? I mean, we talked about Cuba yesterday. Cuba's in the mix. Maybe ceasefire in Russia, Ukraine. Maybe something's about to happen in Iran. And it's Memorial Day weekend. Okay, Marion did your civic duty today and early voted. Go Paxton, go. Get all your friends. Call your friends, call your family, call your neighbors. Yeah. It's olive oil, coconut oil, butter. What else do I use? Olive oil, coconut oil. That's kind of like it for the most part. Yeah, I normally have a lot more to say, but I do have extra things to accomplish today, things that are on the list with appointments and meetings and things that must occur. So I don't know. God, I feel like I'm forgetting half the news, but I don't even know what else is going on. Texas Attorney General Paxton sues Discord over child safety measures. Okay. A House committee has advanced the permanent daylight savings time bill. I don't know. I don't mind switching the hours. Do you? $48-1 in the Energy Commerce Committee, the Sunshine Protection Act, to make daylight savings time permanent. Do we really spend hundreds of millions of dollars every year by people, cities, states being forced to change their clocks? That's what President Trump says. Many of these clocks are located in towers, and the cost of renting or using heavy equipment to do this twice a year is prohibitive. I mean, this is very abstract. The highway bill, the clock. I don't know. I don't mind. It's the only world I've grown up in. I don't know. Oh yeah, avocado oil. That's the other one. Yes. avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, butter. That's it. None of the other junk. But then that other junk is in so many of the other foods. It's like you got to scan every ingredient. Hey, so what's the news with you, eh? Yeah. The news with me. It's the freaking weekend. Maybe I'm about to have me some fun. A little ooh ooh, a little ee ee. That's what's up with me. It's a clock of shit. Yes. I don't know. I don't mind falling behind, springing ahead. It's a little mid-year marker that's like, all right, it's time to move in this direction now. It's not the worst. Yeah, ask me anything time. How's Nimbus? Nimbus is doing good. He's doing good. I sort of think that day that everything went sideways, maybe he got into the trash where, despite telling Izzy, do not put your Dairy Queen in the trash, you have to rinse everything out and put it in the recycling bin. Pretty sure he got into some Dairy Queen and it really upset his stomach. Because then for a couple of days, I noticed the garbage cans were getting knocked over because those ice cream things were going into the trash, despite me saying, do not put food trash in the trash. I think it may have happened. Since then, maybe one bad day. He has one bad day every now and then. But he's had a couple of good weeks, settling in. You know, still active, still moving around. Yeah. Yes. Nimbus became a trash panda. John, if you want to make an image from the TNAM meme team of Nimbus on his hind legs knocking down a trash can to get some Dairy Queen out, please do. That would be a chef's kiss. Nimbus the trash panda. So yeah, he's doing all right. And you got to stay on a very consistent feeding schedule that's challenging. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm here for it. I'm appreciative that he lets me care for him, you know. 20 years old. He's the oldest cat at the vet. That's got to say something. I must have done something right. He's doing okay. All right. We'll give Nimbus a hug for everybody. Ortho, I'll give him a mouse. Marion, I'll give him a hug. I know. Hate it in spring when we lose an hour. Spring ahead. It's like, oh, man. I'm up an hour early, or I'm up at the same time, but now it's late. Yes, it was trash pandemonium over at the house for a little bit. Anyway. Yes, I'll be sure. And it's tough because I wish I could give him nothing but treats. But I would just upset his stomach, so I can't. But I have figured out I can put some of the immunobooster drops into his food, and he tolerates that. I'm like, all right, well, if I can give you extra nutrients to boost that immune system, let's go. Yeah, and don't forget Mr. Bean. He's like 18, I think. He's almost the same age as Nimbus, if you could believe that. So, anyway. All right. Have a great Memorial weekend. We'll be back covering the news. It's going to be I don't know if I'm going to go live on Monday. We'll just say I'll see you on Tuesday. If I happen to be around Monday and if I happen to knock out a show, be happy to see you. But we'll definitely plan on Tuesday at noon. And if anybody wants to send us off for a wonderful Memorial Day weekend with a gallon of gas, you can do a Rumble rant tip or a super chat right there in the comments. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all scrolling at the bottom of the screen, as well as becoming a monthly subscriber on Rumble, YouTube, or Patreon. All right, everybody. Yeah, where has Bean been? Where has Bean been? Where's Bean been? Where's Bean been? I feel like if I had a break from reality, I would start saying stuff like that. Where's Bean been? Yeah, I've been closing the door because usually when they hear me talking, they go, "Oh, things are happening in here. I want to be in here." And so they'll jump up on the desk. But with the door closed, I get a little bit of peace. A little bit. Marion will be serving Memorial Day meal at the local American Legion. That's awesome. You know Mr. Bean too? Bean. Bean. I loved Mr. Bean. What a great show. What a great physical actor. The best since Buster Keaton, I tells you. Really, though. Physical comedy. Michael Richards, Kramer, Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson. Just great physical comics. Absolutely fantastic. Kenneth! Dropping a super chat in, $10. Thank you so much. Monday show then? If I think that, how's the weather going to be where you guys are at? Let me check the weather because there may be something going on all day Monday, but it looks like there's going to be rain. And if there's rain and if I'm around, I'll knock out a show. Oh, it reset. Now it's down to 20% chance. Oh, that's way better than 50%. We shall see. We shall see. But Kenneth, definitely appreciate you, sir. Marion won't leave her cave without her club. Yes, always good advice. Always good advice. Maybe so, maybe not. All right, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Signing out on behalf of Kenneth, Ortho, Marion, John, Dina, and all of the rest. I appreciate you. I love you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.